Well, the whole idea of reliving a childhood memory is few and far between in our adult collecting lives, but today is one of those days. So I'll just start by saying that I don't remember my first Transformers figure. I don't remember specifically my first G.I. Joe figure, though I think it was one of several. But I do remember my first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure, and I remember the ones that came after that. And specifically, I remember the order that I managed to buy them, well, buy slash received them in. So it was 1988, and I was in the first grade, and I'd seen the commercials for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and started watching the cartoon. Naturally, what does a kid of that age do? They tell their parents or their mom, specifically for me at that time, I want them. So what happens when I get home one day? I'm I walk right past the treasure. I'll never forget it. In one of my old homes, there's a little like community chest, and not like the Monopoly ones where there's money inside, not one of those kinds, but you know what I mean, like one of those like large like chests. And I see a Raphael figure sitting there, and I can't remember what my mom said. She was like, go do, I don't know, like go have a shower or something, and then after that you can open it up. So I opened it up, and I remember it being the soft head version. And the second one that I got, after that, I don't know how long it was later, is probably weeks, could have been months, but probably weeks, was Donatello. And I opened him up as well, and I had the two of them. Some more time goes by, I'm walking past the treasure chest again, a number of days, weeks, months, whatever later, and there's Leonardo, another soft head. And then after that, a number of weeks, months, days later, whatever it was, there's Michelangelo. So I managed to get all four, and somehow Michelangelo was the hard head version. That's why I want to say it was 1988. Maybe it was early 89, but because I got three of the four soft head versions, I think it was 88, and then as they transitioned to the firm head era, that's when I ended up getting Michelangelo. So what do I get to do today is I get to relive the experience. I got the TMNT Super 7s. Thank you to E-Collectibles for hooking me up with Michelangelo and Leonardo. Thank you to ages 3 and up for hooking me up with Donatello, and to a gentleman by the name of Larry at last week's Victoria's Ultimate Hobby and Toy Fair for hooking me up with Raphael. So I managed to get all four of them within a short time. So I'm just going to plus in the second camera, and you'll see here, I've got two of them on the desk and two other ones that are on the bed behind me. But as I slowly open them up, you will see Raphael first. Right there. And I will maximize the camera a little bit later on. And I've got Donatello here. Oh, out of room, out of headspace, right over here. So there's Donatello. So Leo and Mikey are behind me. All right, we get to relive this experience. It's 1988 again, and Ken is in the first grade, and he's going to relive this. And what better than to do it with the Super 7 figures? Why? Because they are meant to look like your old toys in articulated form. Now, for those of us who followed last week, I did get the Foot Soldier open, and I did get Bebop open. Oh, he's a heavy boy. Right, so I won't be looking at these guys today, but what we will get a chance to do is have a look at the Playmates Classics versions. And like I said, I'll maximize the other camera later on. But first, let's do a couple of things. Let's say hello to the chat. Gojatron, good to see you. On here, Shellback Toy Rewind, you were at 998 subscribers earlier this morning. So let's get you to 1,000. And if you haven't checked them out yet for good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles content, Shellback Toy Rewind is your man. We got Scuba Pete. And Pete, if you're still listening, I did send out open invite to the patrons. If anybody wants to come on camera and just view Ken's candid reactions as he opens these boxes, and maybe relieve Ken for a bathroom break, because you know that Ken can take a piss before the stream starts, and it doesn't really matter. His bladder will start screaming midstream anyway. Just it knows when I'm on camera. So, all right. Our Facebook friend was 11 years old at the time when the Turtles cartoon came out. Nolan is in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. And Adam Drake, you did end up making it. Good. And yes, TMNT Ultimates, they look good. So, yep, let's get this guy subscribed to 1,000 subscribers. But I see the patrons haven't joined yet. I know I sent it out only a short while ago, but for what I'll do then before I get into opening this up, even if I get some of the patrons, there'll be maybe a couple of them at most. Maybe what I'll do is I'll throw this up on the channel member tab. So if Nolan or Jim Largo or Zazel or Gazz or one of the channel members wants to jump on, I will have you. I'll give an open invite as well. Just going to create a post here, and I think your name is James, right? Last week I sold you the Snake Mountain. Interestingly enough, somebody came and returned it at the toy fair that we were both at, and then I ended up just selling it to you on the way out, and I'm glad that the microphone works because I never tested it, so that's quite a bonus. So I'm just going to create a post for the channel members. Since none of the patrons are on yet, I will just Nolan and any of the channel members check the membership tab, and I'm going to put the StreamYard link up. You want to join me on screen for a box opening TMNT. Link is here. And if we get both patrons and channel members on to experience the box opening, great. Or if nobody comes on, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do this one way or the other. So, all right. So why don't we maximize the second camera here? But first I'll switch sides, and then when I do this, it will automatically make the other camera, the second camera, bigger. And hopefully there's not too much glare on the or not too much reflection on the window packaging, but it doesn't really matter if there is or isn't. I'm going to get this guy open anyway. And wait a second, I just realized something. I bought this used, right? Which means, did I buy this used? Which one did I buy used? Or was it maybe it was Leonardo that I bought used, because I just realized that Raphael is sealed. But I know I bought one of them. Oh no, hold on. Who the hell sold me? No, I made a mistake. Larry last week sold me Rocksteady, not Raphael. But whatever. I think I bought Raphael and Donatello both from ages 3 and up. So anyway, just giving the proper shout out there in case people watch later on and say that no, I mixed it up and sold bought the wrong thing from the wrong person. But whatever. Oh, and Nolan, so can't join because you're cooking. That's okay. You can just put me on audio in the background. I'm glad you're willing to multitask for my sake. All right. Let's get this bad boy opened up. So once again, just a repeat shout out to ages 3 and up and eCollectibles. So they got 2 turtles each from each of them. And yeah, low mileage on the turtles, I guess is what it is. Yeah. Pete, if you're free, feel free to jump on. Just check your email, and you'll get the StreamYard link there. But if you're, I don't know, for all I know, you're probably scuba diving right now, and you've got some headset on while watching me. So just knowing my luck. All right, so let's get this bad boy open. Ken with scissors is always a scary thing, but it happens. And I just realized I did not get. I'm supposed to get baggies to put this stuff in, so I may have to take a break in the middle of the stream because I don't want to mix up who goes into what baggie, so I'm going to have to grab my supply box from downstairs and bag these up so I don't mix up whose accessories go with who. Man, there's a lot of extra hands on these guys. Wow. There's a lot on here. A little much, if you ask me. Like, it's a little intense with how much in the way of accessories is on here. Oh, just like that, I'm a kid again. I mean, I'm literally getting some flashbacks to seeing Raphael the first time in my living room, and couldn't wait to tear the packaging open back then. Pretty good guess, which means yes, you're at work. Adam Drake. So I picked up the Foot Soldier, Shredder, and Rocksteady last week. Some of those came from eCollectibles. I had Master Splinter from before, and Casey Jones and Rocksteady are literally sitting on the floor next to me. I may do another live unboxing, or I might not. These aren't my favorite videos to go back and rewatch. When I say rewatch, it's not like I rewatch myself narcissistically or anything, but it's one of those things where if I want to go back and like look up an example of what I did right or what I did wrong on a stream, these unboxings for some reason just aren't my favorite as far as that's concerned. So I may do another box opening, but I might just say screw it and not do one live on camera when April O'Neil arrives, because then I would be able to do April, Rocksteady, and Casey Jones all at the same time. Because what I tried to do is get the original 10 characters from that era. Let me just get his other accessories out. I may or may not just open those up privately, or I may open them up online. So this is cool. It's got the Turtle Com here, and this is the closed version of the Turtle Com. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, Shellback. I have a hard time. Like I tend to rewatch only for the purpose of seeing what I did right, or what I did, or what I'd like to replicate, or what information I don't want to repeat. That's usually the reason I'll rewatch something, if I do it at all. But these unboxings, I tend not to, unless I'm just checking the audio quality and how far. Like if I know exactly how far the microphone is away from me, I might check for the audio quality. But that's about the only reason why I would rewatch an unboxing. So, but the unboxings are mostly just to try to get some community engagement and just to talk to folks like yourself on here. So yeah. Come on, let's get this bad boy open. Thanks for all of you for bearing with me while I get these bad boys unboxed. Oh, we got Rolando Flores in the chat, and yes, it comes with a ton of accessories. If you can look down there, that's how much it comes with, and that's not even counting the alternate head that's still in the packaging. So imagine that, right? There's just that much on there. So yeah, I just realized he's got size. There's the extra head, the alternate head. He's got size on there, and he's got the size that are here as well. So very interesting, right? I'm gonna go with the original one, not with the like. I'm not gonna do a head swap. So there's Raphael for you, and on that note, I should probably do a comparison between him and the Playmates version here very shortly. Man, that's a lot of accessories. Like, look at that. Look at that pile right there. Yeah, yank these out and just put them into his hands, and then we're gonna pull down the Playmates version for a quick look here very soon. Come on, we want you to. Come on. There we go. Okay. One sai in his hands, and ooh, that is a stiff elbow joint. Ooh, that is a stiff elbow joint. What's interesting, the two sais are slightly different color. One's gray and one's silver. It's hard to see there, but give you a bit of an idea. Okay, so there's that. And there's the Playmates version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that on camera for a minute or two, and you folks can just type your thoughts in the chat while I go downstairs and grab baggies and a Sharpie to be able to label this, label the extra accessories, because this is oh, and here's the accessory tree, which is basically just to mimic the old weapons tray from the 80s. Anyway, bear with me, I'll be back in a minute or so, but just have a look at those two and let me know if there's one you like better than the other, and I'll come back and give my sort of guided analysis on this. So apologies for forgetting to grab the baggies downstairs, but I will go do that now. Yeah, darn it. Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Okay. People, I apologize for that. I did not realize that I'd completely forgotten that the fire alarm testing people were actually coming today. So as I went downstairs to grab the baggie and all some of that stuff, the person came in and was like, "Hey, we got to do some fire alarm testing." So if you hear some irritating beeping in the background like that, yeah, just I completely forgot that it was today, and I would not have scheduled a stream at this time if that had been the case. So bear with me for about a minute or two. I'll keep talking into the microphone. So that's part of the nature of going on a live stream like this. And, oh man, yes, absolutely, it's a fire right now, and it's funny. Like, yeah, yours is getting tested tomorrow. It's just the way it is. Like, even if you live in like a townhouse, like I don't live in a condo per se, but we do live in a townhouse, so there is a strata. And yes, like you thought somebody burnt the toast. Well, in this case, in the case of Ninja Turtles, it'd be somebody burning the pizza is more likely. Yeah, please exit the stream in an orderly fashion. Man, this is one to remember. Ken scheduled a live stream in the middle of a fire alarm test, but it should be done relatively quickly. When they do it annually, they're usually pretty quick, and then they take off. So, yeah. Sorry, I just thought of my wife was just checking my other device for messages, because I thought maybe my wife messaged me, because she usually reminds me when we have the fire alarm testing. So yeah, goodness. Sorry, just managing the two devices here. Oh, Lord. So I'm just going to quickly put the accessories away and chat while I'm at it. But you can see that the Playmates Classics version for RAF is a bit bigger and a bit stockier, and it may even be a tiny bit taller. Now, the Playmates versions, as great as they were, and they're still great. Sorry, so I'm not going to say anything, you know, like, I'm not going to put like a disclaimer and then say but, and then say what I really mean here, like sometimes people do. But what I am going to say is that back then they were just trying to make better versions and modernized versions. But the way Super 7 has gone about it is to try to give us the look that looks basically the same as the original toy, but with some articulation. Now, I've noticed that what Super 7 has done, though, is they've given us the sleekness and the narrowness that looks more proportioned to the cartoon, but the overall aesthetic is still like that of the toy. This Playmates one is kind of something in between, where it's got the cartoonish type of head, but the proportions have the stockiness of the but it has the stockiness of the original toy. And what is going on with the freaking spam bots right now? Let me see if I can ban it from here. Otherwise, if one of the mods is Scuba or somebody is on, maybe you can ban it for. Okay, looks like it worked on this end. Wow, that was ridiculous. Yeah, Rolando, need a date. What's going on here? Right. What a show of a stream. Oh, the Canuck, new member. Oh, before I do that, I just want to plus Steve into the stream. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Which Steve?
Who else?
I don't know. Good. How are you doing, man?
You're live right now on the public channel. Isn't that awesome?
And I didn't even do my hair.
No, you didn't even do your hair. So, no. But before we do that, I'm just going to plus this in. The Canuck, thank you. Welcome to the channel memberships. If for some reason you want to join the stream, you can check the channel membership tab and get on live here, just like Steve's gotten. He's plussed himself in as Delta 17 because he is the owner / showrunner or brand runner for Delta 17. I'm gonna try to get our names on the camera here. Here, give me a second. Does it show our names? Or does it not show our names?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it doesn't want to show our display names for some reason.
So which one is the Super 7? The guy with the no eyeballs?
Yeah, the guy with the no eyeballs. Yeah. Nice. Oh, there it is. It's got our names up when I pulled up his name. When I pulled up the Canuck as a new member. I'm still trying to learn how to use StreamYard. I don't know if you missed it or not. The reason I was late getting you onto the stream, I know I saw you back there for about 2 minutes, but the sex bots jumped online and we're spamming my feed. So
really?
It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, basically it was spam. Yeah, basically.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know. And how you doing, Pains? Good to see you. So yeah, let's switch back to the other view there. You didn't grow up much with turtles, did you, Steve?
No, not at all. I never even had one. It was weird.
Well, by the time, I mean, you might have been phasing out of toys by the time they came out a little bit. So,
yeah, probably getting into girls and drinking.
Basically. Yeah. I would not expect that. Let's put it that way. So we'll put Leo on deck and let's get Donatello on here. So yeah, basically, I don't know, folks, what you think here. I mean, I still really like this 2012 Playmates Classics version. Even if the Super 7 one has more accessories, it holds its weapon better too, because if you look at this this Playmates one, you move the hand even a little bit, the sai will fall out. And the only thing that I like about the Playmates Classics version, and it's a double-edged sword, but what I liked was the fact that it only came with the 2 sais. Literally, that's it. No other accessories. Whereas the Super 7 one, as you saw, I had to put up a special baggie just for all the accessories, right? Just to put everything in there. So,
holy cow.
Right, like there's literally 4 pairs of alternate hands, so that's 8 extra hands total. You got pizza slicers, ninja stars, pizzas themselves, the original tree-looking thing that the thing came with, and an extra head. It's just loaded with extra accessories, which it's great, but it's also not, right? So
yeah,
I'm not going to say don't go for it, but I am going to say it's one extra thing to track all the time, right? So yeah. Anyway, there's Raphael, and let's get the Donatello opened up here. Yeah. So what's going on in your world today, Steve?
Too much, man. That's why I'm taking a break.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see absolutely nobody here has oh, here we go. The one on the left looks better because of the darker colors. Depends on which left you're talking about. I think he must have been referring to the Super 7 one. Absolutely first world problems there. Shellback. And yeah, it's just me whining, right? The fingers are not articulated on the Super 7 one, but it comes with alternate hands that you can use to put on. So I guess that's what makes up for the articulation. And yeah, Pete, I don't know. The sex bots left me alone for a little while, but all of a sudden they came back. So yeah, and Keith could always relate to TMNT eating junk food in the sewer, played bass in a heavy metal band, and eating habits were always too. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It's funny how Ninja Turtles actually made pizza more popular, if that was actually possible. Look, I don't recall being as much into pizza as I was until the Ninja Turtles came out and started doing their thing. So we'll continue opening these in the order that I received them as a kid. So here's Donatello. Right there.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yep. And of course the second accessory tray below it. And the Canuck, I'm just assuming you're Canadian. You got the Power Ranger Turtles, the Cobra Kai versus Turtles, and getting the Universal Monsters collection. Yeah, that's. I remember the Power Rangers crossover from 1998. That was. I liked it at the time. I don't think that episode's aged that well, but I really liked it at the time. So there you go again with the extra, weapons tree.
Wow.
I see.
A lot of extra stuff. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. A Canadian living in the U.S. Kind of like my sister. She's a Canadian living in the U.S. as well. Shellback Toy Rewind says he doesn't understand this. I don't understand that either. It's almost like just cross marketing for the sake of cross marketing. For this, from Chicago, so pizza was always popular. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it doesn't look like, just to answer the question earlier, it doesn't look like the any of the hands are articulated except at the wrist. And why the heck are the sex bots back? It's like a whole second round of sex bots are in the chat now. Like, what is this?
Weird.
Wow. Like, all these extra hand options. I'm always scared taking these out of the packaging. Deforming the packaging as it goes out. Say that again?
At least it's not NECA. It won't fall apart.
I'm always scared when I have the NECA ones. And if I had the NECA Turtles, I would do that comparison instead because that's a more relevant modern day comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert. Tell the groupies to leave. I mean, I don't know what's going on. You know. Kind of hilarious. So there's Donnie. There's Donnie Don right there for you fine folks to have a look at.
Yeah, they look good.
They really do look good. Let me just get a bow staff in his hands. So here we go with the bow staff. Looks freaking good, hey? And I'll just unbox the rest of the accessories because we're not gonna have too deep a look at them. And I will show everybody. Whoa! And I managed to drop something. Thankfully, those are durable, so they don't break. Yeah.
Oh. You froze up, dude. Think. Oh, there.
Yeah, Michelangelo. I managed to drop the Michelangelo from Playmates off the shelf, and his foot came off, but it just tabs right back in. We'll do that comparison a little bit later on. I have them on an upper shelf here, and I managed to knock it over while I was fiddling around here a little bit. Here, I'll just leave them lying down.
What year are the Playmate ones from?
2012. Yeah, so I'll just have a quick hello to the rest of the chat here. Wilhelm, Toy and Hobby, who was part of the stream on Sunday there, has managed to join us, and a 16-bit Misfit, one of the people from Geek Dad Life's Discord who I was talking to. He might have been the one who said to me that did I finish the OG lineup yet from Super 7? And yes, I did. Rocksteady's literally sitting on the floor, waiting to be unboxed. Not today, but at some point. And then April O'Neil is in the mail. And if you're thinking, do I want to dive any deeper? Oh man, loaded question. I've already got Casey Jones, who wasn't part of the OG lineup, but he's basically mandatory. So yeah, and James Ratface, another channel people can subscribe to. Good to see you here, James. Oh, and Gazz has managed to make his way home. So good to see you around. And yeah, all right, let's keep unboxing. And good, Gaz is here, which means we have yet another moderator if in case the sex bots decide to troll me a third time. That's twice in the same stream that the sex bots decided to troll me. Like it's ridiculous right now. So anyway, let me know what you all think. Let's see if that camera is actually focusing. I think it is, right? Is the camera focused or not?
Yeah, it looks good, man. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Playmates 2012 Classics ones are so much bulkier, because they're technically supposed to be the same scale. They're supposed to be in that 6.5-inch scale that the wrestlers, that Mattel makes their wrestlers, and when Mattel was making their Masters Universe Classics, it was kind of in that scale as well. Now this is Playmates, mind you, and not Mattel. And why won't Donnie's extra head come on? There we go. So yeah, here's the extra head scan with the closed mouth. I'm just gonna leave the regular head on just because that's how I remember it as a kid. I play the wheels off of these things, and the pizza, and of course got the turtle com. There's a closed version of the turtle com if you can see it, and we've got the open version of the turtle com. Again, all the turtles seem to come with them, and we've got the pizza slicers, both the big and the small pizza slicers over there. And we've got his, I never know what to call this freaking weapon. If anybody actually knows the name of the weapon, maybe Shellback can tell me what the name of that weapon is if he happens to have done the research on it. Yeah, what's going on here? I mean, these 2012 modern ones were good for the time, and they still generally hold up, but I feel that Super 7 and NECA have kind of surpassed them ever so slightly.
Yeah, those look amazing. The Playmates are still really good looking too, you know. I'm tempted to get all the Thundercats from Super 7. They look great.
That's one that I wanted to ask you, because I know Thundercats is more your jam, and we were talking about the super expensive Thunder Tank a little while ago.
Yeah, I'll never do that one. Not the Thunder Tank.
Yeah. I mean, the Thunder Tank is one of those that everyone feels is overpriced, and it is, right? Like, I think, what is it, 400 American or something for the Thunder Tank?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at, and I'm not saying this one's cheap, but even people are bashing on the price of the on the Attorney, and it's gonna be that much bigger for $550, but it's quite a bit bigger, right?
Right.
So it's almost like if we think that's overpriced, then imagine how people think of the Thunder Tank. I'm sorry. Once again, look at this crazy bag of accessories that Donatello comes out. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's catch up with the chat a little bit here. Oh, we got Salacious Rum, who has joined us. Canuck giving us his great humor here. And did I miss Tony Robles? Tony Robles is in the chat. Yes, we chat on Instagram a few times. I'm not going to get Muckman for sure, but having said that, 16-bit Misfit, I always say I'm not going to get something, and then I do. Just ask Steve every time I say I'm not going to buy a G.I. Joe classified figure. A week later, it's in my collection, and I'm showing him over text. So, yeah.
So true.
The best Leonardo. Yeah, he became my favorite as well over the years. So, yeah, and yeah, a lot of this stuff is overpriced. Agreed. The Canuck, or at least it feels overpriced. I mean, I know that without knowing a company's exact profit and loss statement, it's hard for me to state it 100% for sure, but it really, really does feel overpriced, right? Robert Monty says he dropped out of getting the Thunder Tank and went with the Joy Toy Warhammer. So there you go. Yeah.
Joy Toy is making some incredible stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We've got a really active chat today for a basic live unboxing. So we got Leonardo being open next. So Steve, you might have missed the beginning, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to open these in the order that I got them as a kid.
Nice.
That's so that's why Raphael went first and then Donatello. And I was telling a story in the chat about how or towards the chat about how I remember getting them in that exact order and walking by the living room and seeing my mom had it displayed out on the chest in the living room, and I saw Raphael the first time, then Donatello a few weeks later, then Leo, then Mikey. So that's why they're being ordered. They're being opened in the order they're being opened right now.
Nice.
So
you get them for Christmas, or what did you get them for?
I don't remember what I got them for. I just remember that they seemed to come kind of randomly at random times. I must have just whined loud enough, and my mom just said I would just shut him up for a little while, just get him a Ninja Turtle every few weeks until he stays quiet.
Nice.
So yeah, Slash, absolutely. Yeah, everything just feels overpriced these days, Shellback.
Yep.
Yeah, they did put them in each in slightly different colors because they're trying to match that original feel. Obviously, where one turtle was a different color than the other a little bit. Like you can see that. That's exactly how I remember them as a kid. Right, and I'm wondering why they were different colors compared to the cartoon, where they were all basically the same color, where they were the same color. Not even basically, they literally were. So this Leonardo came today from E-Collectibles, and so did the Michelangelo. So Steve, since you're in the same time zone as me, what's for dinner tonight?
I just had turkey, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing too interesting here. Borrow this knife.
Yeah.
What are you having? I guess you're having pizza by the looks of it.
Well, ironically, I had pizza last night.
Oh, there you go.
Not realizing that the remaining 2 turtles were going to come today in the mail. Like, I'm on the way to drop my kid off from school, and my wife's like, "There's something at the front door." I'm like, "Oh." So there's the rest of my TMNT Ultimates.
Nice.
Speaking of the wife, I got to check my Facebook messages in about half an hour here and see whether or not she needs a ride home from work. And if she does, I'll log off after I open Michelangelo. So, yeah. There's the original accessory tree again. Nice. I just like leaving it like that. I guess everyone does. That's kind of the point of it. It's more of a treat than anything else. But I will say that the very first time I got a Super 7 figure was the Splinter figure, and when that happened, I was so surprised at how many different accessories he came with. Like literally to the point that his robe came in both a rubber version and a cloth version.
Wow.
So I just put the cloth one on because I thought it looked better. Anyway, Robert Monty. First off, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. And I'll just read your comment out here that, you blew your Achilles playing, I'm going to assume that's basketball and not baseball, on the 4th of July, and haven't gotten to open anything. And I'm going through boxes of stuff to open right now. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. An Achilles is not an easy thing to, well, actually, I've never had it happen before. So I was going to say it's not an easy thing to recover from, but I'm sort of just assuming that. But he says he can actually walk now, and he's got some well wishes in the chat, basically just hoping that he's been okay. But again, thank you for the super chat. And again, I'm assuming that's basketball and not baseball. I mean, it could easily be baseball, but most leg injuries that I've seen growing up would come more from basketball because I have a bit more exposure to that than I do baseball. I mean, being Canadian, we had the Grizzlies up here for a little while, right? Mm. Got Leonardo out of his packaging.
A long time to be going for from July 4th till now. Jeez.
I know. I know it's basically been 3 months, but good that he's on the mend. Yeah. Oh, and I realize why I can't get him out of the packaging is because I haven't cut some of the tape. There we go. That'll make it a little bit easier. And yeah, he confirms in the chat it's basketball. Mm. So here's Leonardo. Hopefully the freaking camera can focus. This Logitech camera like autofocuses. I can't click a setting to make it focus on its own.
That looks good enough, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the two katanas in his hands very shortly here. They're a little bit of a rubbery material, so they do have a little bit of give on them. Let's get these in his hands. Yeah. I know Turtles wasn't one of those franchises that went quietly. Did any of your kids ever get into Turtles, Steve?
No, my kids, no. I wish that would have been cool. I don't think they were around. Well, yeah, they were around in different iterations.
Yeah, a little different from what we grew up with.
Yeah, my boys were more into blowing stuff up. They weren't really into toys. So, you know, bow and arrow and Nerf guns and
Mine is into tanks, and he kind of likes Transformers, but he tends to like Transformers more when I'm around to play with them. Otherwise, he kind of ignores his Transformers, and then I show up, and then he uses it to like bait me into like playing with him. And it's hard, you know how hard it is to say no to a kid when they're passionate about something you're passionate about. And sometimes I'm on the way out the door to go do something else, and I'm just like, oh, I want to stop and play though. And he's like, let's play. I'm like, oh, I want to, but I can't. You know what I mean? Now these katanas look really long. By comparison to the Playmates Classics version that I'm going to show, like if you look at the proportion of the swords relative to the size of the figure,
those are sweet, man. Longer swords are way better. That looks awesome.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I always thought that they would look a little short on the Playmates versions.
Yeah. Iron is.
What a world we live in, where we can work from home sometimes and then get to stream on a Tuesday because there's no commute home for me today. So there's the alternate head.
Nice.
Yeah. They all come with a slice of pizza. They all come with a turtle com. They all come with slicers, just like when we were kids. They all come with the, I just call it a club, but I don't actually know the name of the accessory that it comes with. So, yeah.
Sure.
We got Mikey open, and then I'm going to check on my wife's schedule, see if she needs a ride home from work. Oh, Robert Monty. I don't know if Adam Drake is still in the chat, but he's definitely a Mythic Legions collector. I am too, a little bit on and off for Mythic Legions. I don't know if you're referring to the recent Four Horsemen Headless Horseman figure, which was freaking gorgeous as hell.
I'm staying far away from that line. It looks way too cool.
I know. Once you start, it's like, I mean, there's a few standalone characters like that Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
But there's not that many that that you can just go, okay, I'm just going to buy one, right? It's like eating one potato chip. That's what it's like trying to stick to limiting yourself in the Mythic Legions and Four Horsemen.
Yeah. Yeah, so far I've just ordered one of those, the armored troll and the silver armor.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's got vampires and goblins. I think that's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have broken the seal a little bit. Like you have gotten some.
Well, he hasn't showed up yet.
That's right. You did say that.
kind of hoping that he doesn't show up because I don't want to get into something new. I mean, I'm already broke enough.
We all are. Modern day collecting means being at the mercy of the companies. Yeah. Well, sorry. Whatever mercy you want to give them, but it's hard. Yeah, Gaz. Leo just looks amazing. He became my favorite turtle as well over the course of the years, just with the whole code of honor and everything like that. As a kid, I always told everybody that my favorite was Raphael, but that's only because he was the first one I got. So there's the 3 right now. And I'll just bring them up on camera closer. I'm not sure if there's a better way for Don to hold his staff. Maybe like this, I don't know. Maybe the way I had him hold it as a kid. Anyway, whatever. I'll just have him hold it one-handed. It's fine.
Yeah, Leo's looking the best so far. That double katana is just awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm liking the weapons on him, especially the length of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do the same 16-bit Misfit. I just can't. I just absolutely can't. Oh, that's right. There's a Legions Con coming soon. Right. Must be getting good overtime at work, Canuck. I liked the rivalry between Leo and Don. Or Leo and Don. Leo and Mike. No. Leo and Raph. Holy. Focus, Ken. Focus. In the 2007 animated movie, because they really played up the whole older brother Leo being the role model and Raph being this sort of rebellious guy. That was a great movie to watch at the time, and Mikey's accessories have started falling out of the packaging already, so good thing I'm getting him open. And I can hear the accessories rattling.
Yeah, Ronin is cool. That was a good comic book run.
I never read it. I heard of it obviously, but who actually wrote it? Do you remember?
No, I don't know. I have some of them here somewhere, but I don't know where. Gazz might be able to tell us though who wrote it.
Oh, he probably can. He always can.
Yeah.
The extra nunchucks. You got like the straight nunchucks here. Keith Knight, are you seriously retired? Because I am so jealous of you if you are. I'm always telling my my family, oh, I can't wait to retire. And it's funny because people always tell me, oh, when you retire, you're bored. Now, when I had a month where I was recovering from a surgery and I had nothing to do, there's all the spare hands. I did not run out of things to do. I was literally always, all the time, reading a new comic, catching up on TV, watching Netflix. The entire month that I was cooped up on the couch at home recovering from a surgery back in 2016, I spent the entire time doing something, right? And if I was retired, I'd probably be helping Steve with Delta 17.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Right. So there you go. Hey, Gaz, you want to come online? Check the member tab, Gaz. You can get yourself on camera for some candid reactions here.
Yeah, Gaz is saying that the comic was written by Eastman and Laird, and then the artist was Waltz, but I don't know.
Okay, so basically the same people who wrote the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I'm not sure about Waltz, but Eastman and Laird wrote the cartoon, the comics, not the cartoon. So that he's got a different com here. And he's got a pizza box in here, which I'm really hoping folds shut. And it doesn't look like it does. This pizza box here, it looks like it just stays open like this, which is going to be a pain to try to keep it in package because that could break. Like I'm trying to, you saw the baggies that I'm putting stuff in.
Yeah.
How am I going to put that in the baggie? I have to grab a bigger baggie just for the sake of having a bigger one.
You'll have to get a little box for it, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Keith Knight's always customizing toys. Oh, I see. Okay, thank you, Gazz. Get online, Gazz. Grab that link. You and Steve can talk old school movies, and I can just zone out.
That Michelangelo there with that bright orange, I think he has the best contrast when it comes to colors. You know, between the green and the orange, that looks really good.
Well, that's just it. Like when Jay from Geek Dad Life reviewed them, he was most disappointed in Michelangelo compared to the others. Okay, that's fine. I was just gonna say, eat dinner and just go silent, and we won't hear you chewing. But anyway, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Keith. Fair enough. Sorry, well, literally opening Michelangelo behind. This is where I need like a third camera. Like I need like to display the figures, one to talk and one to show me opening the figure in the background. Michelangelo, people don't like the sheen too much on him. They find the green just feels a little bit off. I don't mind it. I guess because I set my expectations low on him. I don't mind him at all, actually. Just looking at him right now.
Yeah, he looks cool, but he does stand out, right? That green is very different.
Yes, absolutely.
I like the contrast, though.
Well, that's how he was in the original toy too. Like he was the most like neutral green, but like a sharp green.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, these are cool with these nunchucks.
Right. Nice.
Then I'm gonna yank down the other one to show you all later on, and you can have a look at the contrast between the style of the Playmates version of the Playmates Classics versus the new Super 7 Ultimates right here. So there's the Super 7 Ultimates, and here is the one that I dropped earlier. I just like the proportions better on the Super 7 Ultimates. Interesting how much they can modernize a modern figure.
Yeah, that looks wild. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta open the door.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I had to open the door earlier to let a fire alarm tester in. This pizza box is just it's a great accessory, but it just looks stupid. Sorry, it's just silly how it can't even close, or can't even separate into two halves, so you can't store it or anything. Maybe I'll just leave it out somewhere. And I think I managed to guilt Gazz onto coming onto the stream. I was joking. I was just trying to peer pressure you with the, you know you wanna. But anyway,
dudes?
Yeah, so this is Steve, who I've often talked to you behind the scenes before about Delta 17 Gazz. So Steve's the owner of it. I'm just his lemming.
17 guy.
Just the Delta 17 guy. And Gazz, you've seen on some TKO episodes before. Steve, actually, it's been a while since I've had Gazz on the channel. I tend to think of him as one of the regulars, but anyway, carry on.
Nice to make your acquaintance, sir.
Yeah, you too, man. I've heard about you. I've heard a lot about you. You're a good dude.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your line. It looks pretty cool from what Ken showed us.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah, so for those who are in the chat, look up Delta 17 Toys, all one word, on Instagram. That's the account that Steve and I co-run.
What was that? Show that again.
Delta 17 Toys.
Oh, I missed what you just showed.
Oh.
Here, let me bring you up on full screen here.
Okay, Steve. Just one quick preview.
Oh man, look at that! Look at that! Oh, damn.
That's just one of our dudes. We've got lots more.
So guess what scale that is, Gazz?
3 3/4.
That's right. Yeah. Look at how much detail he got for a 3 3/4 inch. That is the first public scene of a Delta 17 prototype.
Oh, and it's good to be a 3 3/4 fan.
It is. It is.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
Yep.
is that another one? Damn, those look good.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
Nice.
We're pretty excited about them. The visor flips down and everything.
That's pretty badass, man.
Thank you, sir. Anyways, I didn't mean to steal the show. Back to you, Ken.
No. I've opened all 4. So
Put
for you
turtles up
to
there.
for you to stay stealing the show, it's okay.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm done.
All right. I'm just gonna drop the Delta 17 Instagram link onto the live stream chat.
Yeah, just keep in mind we're not really dropping a lot of info. You won't see much on there. That's on purpose. We will carpet bomb the world when we get closer to release date. We're not doing a Kickstarter. There's no Kickstarter.
Oh no.
No, you guys can hang on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can hang on to your money until the toys are available, and then you spend the money and it comes to you right away.
That I like. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got, I don't know, thousands of dollars on hold right now just till next year, the year after, who knows, right?
Yeah, there's just so many factors and variables about when they can get made, when they can get, delivered. But we are working with pros. Like, I know we don't have a track record with toys, with toy manufacturing, but we will give you our best. You can rest assured on that. And there's lots of love in the chat for what people have seen here.
Oh yeah, I see Steve. That. Thank you.
Right. So, yeah. Sorry, this pizza accessory cannot go into a baggie. I'm just gonna have to have it sitting out there for Michelangelo to eat. That pisses me off. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, normally I'm not this easily disappointed. But anyway, you're still full screen if you want to show anything else, Steve. Otherwise, I can.
Well, I don't know. We've got 8 prototypes here, but let's see. What is it now? It's October.
October.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our stuff is, we're still a ways away. How many people can see this broadcast right now?
Well, there's 16 in the live chat, and then it's on forever and ever for anyone to see, unless I hide the stream later. Unless I hide the stream later on, which I've done in the past, if I just didn't like the way the stream went. So it is entirely up to you to go confidential or not. There is no pressure from anyone. It is. Yeah,
I'm gonna echo Scuba Pete's comment on that display behind you looks killer.
Thank you. It's all GI Joes, and that's most of my collection, except for that lame
stuff, man. Jesus,
I don't have
and yes, Canuck, they can technically fit into the pizza box. You just lay them on top. So yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to show more if it's going to go and sit on YouTube, because then people can access it over time, and
that's totally fine, because I know you're still tweaking a lot. So it's one of those things that if you were the ones that you showed, I know for a fact are closer to what the final one is going to be. But you're right. If all of a sudden someone says, "Oh, I wanted to buy into the line because that character had a certain color," and then Steve changes the color 3 months later, then I totally understand you not wanting to show more than that.
Or having our designs stolen before we can. Well, actually, we'll probably beat everyone else to the punch when it comes to getting stuff out.
Well, because like you said, we're not waiting on a Kickstarter, and Kickstarters vary across. Some people, when they do a Kickstarter, their Kickstarter is just to get funding to start even design. Right. Yeah. Some people, they do the design and the Kickstarter is for tooling and figure manufacturing. Right. Yeah. So it's basically whenever Steve is done designing and is ready to submit to factory. It is that simple. Like we are at that point. Price range for Delta 17. TBD. I will simply, unless Steve overrules me, I will simply say just have a look at the pricing that's currently available for everything out there right now, from Longbow. I think Operation Recall, I think, is a little bit more because he had to get all the old designers and old Hasbro staff back. But if you look at the pricing for like everything else that's out there right now between Strike Force, Longbow, etc., we can beat that. We will.
Yeah.
But I would say use that as a guide for now. And Steve, you can overrule me if you want on that, but that's just what I'm saying is use it as a guide if you're trying to budget yourself.
Yeah, definitely. We will not be doing what Recall is doing, $30 a figure. That's, I don't mean to say anything bad about Recall. I'm pretty excited about them, and that's an amazing team and all that stuff that they're putting together. But $30 is pretty high. 25, that American, that still seems pretty high to me. I'd love to try for 20 American, but we still have to be able to pay for all our tooling. Tooling is huge.
Yeah.
And
how many actual figures are you gonna have in the line?
We're aiming for 12 in wave 1, but we might settle with 11 and bring out the 12th 6 months later or something like that. Because the 12th is going to be quite complex. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's the 12th figure is going to be unique. And no, we are not throwing shade at any of the other lines. We understand why they're priced the way it is. I just want to make sure, because people go on forums and they say, hey, these lines are doing this. Like Carson's been on here. We've streamed with Longbow before. I will probably stream with Legends of the Hidden Force. I did their trailer. I did Longbow's trailer. We pumped Recall's Kickstarter on here on the last. Yeah, and I agree. 20 to 30 would not actually be too bad. Like in a perfect world, we would try to go to 20, just because as far as like in-house design, like Steve can do his own sketches, right? Etc. Right. But that's us aiming, right? By the time it comes out, with inflation, the world being the way it is, shipping and everything, who knows what it could be, right? Like, yeah.
These are going to be O-ring or?
Yes.
O-rings. And a question, because I asked this to Carson on, I think it was Sarge's channel, or it might have been on here. I can't remember, but
probably here.
Will they like the foot pegs compatible with like old Joe stuff?
Yeah, the foot pegs are compatible. The head ball or the neck balls are compatible, except on our females. On our females, we came up with a very unique buck where we wanted to get that hourglass curve, and so we really sucked in a lot of their parts, and it's there's not a lot of wiggle room around on the inside of their torso. So they have a really tiny neck ball.
That's awesome. How many female characters do you have in the line, if you don't mind me asking?
2.
I'm assuming a good guy and a villain.
Well, they're not guys.
Well, a good female and a villain. Hero and villain. Nice.
I'm just being. Sorry.
Baroness and Scarlet. I like this. This became like an impromptu reveal, and we're still on topic because the turtles are still on camera, so we're still on
Baroness and Zorana, if I may say.
There you go. I'll just show a head of one. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Let me. I'm gonna full screen you. Do not. There you go.
Oh wow, I like that. It's almost like it's like a World War II thing. I like that. That's neat.
Yeah, she's got a pilotka on, a field cap or a side cap, whatever you want to call it.
Freaking cool.
Oh, thank you.
Cool.
Hey, get me off at full screen. I don't like looking at myself like that.
Is it so? You can have a story with it too, right? Comic or
nice.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, we're gonna do a comic. I don't know how many issues. My goal was 4 prior to the launch, but 4 might be a bit much. We'll see.
Are you going to self-publish it, or do you have a publisher?
No, we're just gonna keep it as a free digital online comic. Like, I don't want to sell two lines of products. Like, now we got all this paper product and the toy. Once the toy picks up in popularity, and we make a fan base, hopefully outside of the collector's world, then we'll look into actually going back and publishing a paper product. Wow,
free comics is even cooler.
Yeah.
Right?
And we found a really great artist in Italy. He's amazing. He did our image there for the one picture with Shadow Dragon and the robot ninjas on Instagram there.
That was a stellar picture.
Yeah, it was really well done. He's really good. Can't
go wrong with robot ninjas. Let me see that right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be around any of them, but
So the time frame for your story, because I know that what is it? I'm drawing a blank on the other one. Takes place in the 80s. When does yours take place?
Longbow takes place in the 80s.
Yeah, Longbow. That's it. Yeah. When does yours take place? Is this like a futuristic one?
no, we're sort of modern, so we're like maybe 2017 is where we might start things off because we want to rewind the story a little bit. And we're not going to do really sci-fi or fantasy. Well, a little bit of sci-fi, but not fantasy, right? You won't see any vampires or different things like that in our line.
Right. But you got robot ninjas, so that's okay.
Yeah, I guess since we did release that image of the Okami, so I can show the Okami dude. So that's what he looks like.
Oh wow.
So he's got a really complicated backpack with extra hand swords as well as full size katanas, a handgun. You know, his hands come off. He's just like a bat.
That is badass. Look at that.
Yeah, we really like him.
Oh man, that is cool.
This one's for you, Steve.
What that?
What are we thinking for Joe Fest next year?
Well, we will be there. We're going to have a table and we're going to have our paint masters. I don't know. I hope that we can have, some posters available and stuff like that. And then I hope we can leave everyone with a promise of, you'll see our product in a month or 2 months at the most is what I'm hoping for. I'm not sure. Right now we're in talks with the factory. We picked up an amazing factory rep who just left Hasbro like last year. So he's really good.
That's phenomenal. That's gonna be good. This is gonna be a stellar Joe Fest. If you guys are there, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, there's so many great new toys coming out, and I'm putting so much money into them, whether it's Longbow or Recall. I'm just as much of a fan as anyone else, and I didn't mean to talk down towards anyone else with their prices. I just wish that I'm just hoping for ours that we can make it more affordable and pick up more.
Well, with Recall, I like that they did the pricing. Whereas if you bought into a wave, if you buy any future figures, they're at that price that you pay for a single figure. So I mean, I guess the basic is 30, but if you bought into wave 1, it goes down like I think to 24 or something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got to get the money to those guys, and they deserve it. So I'm all cool with that. That's a good. That
was his big thing is Hama and Rudat and Pennington and Bazigian and all those old time Hasbro staff. So it's the era of the O-ring, like I called it, the O-ring Renaissance on that video. And you notice on that video, the thumbnail, the only figure I did not put on the thumbnail was a Delta 17 figure, just because of conflict of interest. Wanted to feature everybody else because I know once I start pumping Delta 17, I'm gonna pump it hard when I pump it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I tried to put everybody else ahead of us, because I wanted to show that we are very much in support of the other toy lines. And it's one of the reasons as well that I wanted to support the others. And you are not competition to us. We're trying to grow the collector market. And people will have their own headcanon where they'll pull a Delta 17 figure. They'll pull the Wolf Pilot from the Skeletron. They'll pull the Longbow figure, the Recall figure, the Whiskey Jack Toys ninjas.
I'm gonna have to rename my headcanon. I can't just call it the Joeverse with all these great lines coming in.
So the Canuck has a question here. Ken, are you involved in Delta 17? Yeah. So the way it goes is like Steve rings the bell, and if he rings it a certain number of times, that's the amount of sugar he wants in his coffee. If he just rings it very basic, it means black coffee. I've messed it up a few times. That's me. That's my cue right now to wash his car. So I'll be right there.
I'll answer that question. He is an amazing writer, and anytime I send something his way and I just give him a general idea of, here's the boundary, here's the whatever, boom, sends me back some incredible work. And I also use you're involved in operations day to day, and we talk about this stuff almost every day. So
We do.
I don't know if that would give you an operations manager kind of title, but your help is integral. You know, if I don't think we can make this line without you.
No, I appreciate that. Those are kind words.
So-
And the way sorry, go
Not
ahead, Gaz.
at all.
No, go ahead, Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so like I used to care if the 25-year-old version of me, if you gave me an operations manager title, I'd plaster it everywhere and I'd be so thrilled and so honored, and I still am, and I always am. But I'm now the kind of person who would love to have a business card that literally says something like chief bottle washer or something, and then like on the job description itself, it's an operations manager, writer, blah blah blah. The first few comics will probably be a collaborative effort between me and Steve in terms of the writing itself.
Yep.
I'll probably write some bios and then run them by Steve, and then we'll see. So yeah.
Dare I say the Larry Hama of Delta 17?
No, that's very close to what it's going to be. For now, I have to frame up I have a very specific idea of the world, and I just have to frame it up a little bit more, and then I can pass it off to Ken.
Nice.
You know, Ken is more based in the fantasy. You know, he grew up in the fantasy era, and I'm just strictly military. You know, I only collected G.I. Joe, and I got into Marvel Comics, and that's it. Outside of that, I don't have any. I've got maybe 2 Transformers. I've never had a turtle in my life.
Same. 2 Transformers, never had a turtle in my life.
All right,
Exactly.
all right. I got a small collection of Grimlocks, and I have the 4 turtles, but they're the comic versions. The red all got red.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I would love some more. You know, I love Grimlock and those guys. There's a handful that I really want. It's just as a kid, I never had any of that stuff. I'm straightforward, just a military guy. You know, I won't add in any zombies or vampires or any of that kind of weird stuff.
Let me ask a question. Do you like, for TV shows, do you like Stargate SG-1?
Never seen it. I stay away from TV shows. Yeah, I stay away from.
You need to watch that. You'll love it.
What's it on?
I think it's streaming on Amazon because I think they have the rights now because they bought MGM.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's got Richard Dean Anderson in it.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah, he plays
MacGyver, right?
He plays Jack O'Neill, who was Kurt Russell's character in the movie.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it's a continuation.
Yeah, it's
because I saw the movie.
Yeah, it's a continuation of the movie. It takes place a year after the original, the movie, and it's science fiction but very military. So it's like us now going into like space through the Stargate and fighting like these aliens that look like Egyptians.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. You'll dig it.
Yeah, I watched the movie about 2 months ago when I had a flu. I was just like watching all these crazy kind of campy movies. Like what was that one with Roddy Piper in it again? They Live.
They live. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie, man. That fight scene in the alleyway.
Yeah. So I watched a whole bunch, Stargate and They Live and all sorts of weird. It was just like, oh, bring on the campy movies, dude. You know. So
you can't go wrong with things like SG-1. I mean, towards the late, I think it went on for like 10 seasons, maybe 11. I think probably from about season 8 on is kind of iffy. But
yeah. See, I stay far away from series because I know it's like, do you want to sign on to 100 hours of viewing? It's like, no, I don't.
If you have Amazon Prime, it's on that. You don't even need to worry about it. Yeah.
But it's the number of hours, right? Like I just started House of the Dragon, said I'll just try 1 episode. 8 episodes later, I'm now going, damn it, I can't wait for episode 9. I watched it all in a few days.
It's a good series for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Good series for a rainy day.
Yeah, the Canuck says here it'll be Valacon and DeltaCon. I like that. Thank you, sir.
Yep, I pulled that up earlier. Valacon and DeltaCon. Yeah.
See, Hans is in the chat, huh?
Yep. I pulled up his I think he got the notification late because this was one of those weird streams again where like I jump on, there's a big 0 next to my name, then all of a sudden it jumped to a 10. So like everyone got the notification late. So that's why I like to do the countdown screen, the countdown screen at the beginning. So yeah, that's basically, you now know the rest of my life. It's not as if I don't collect toys, go online all the time, go on Facebook. I'm also helping with this toy line.
Ken, I know I know you said you were doing some writing, but I didn't realize you were like this involved in this line. This is great. Good for you, man.
Yeah. No, Ken will be he'll be working hard. I think in about a month we're going to switch over to heavy writing.
Oh, really? A month?
Yeah. Once I can set up the second designer and get the factory manager going and get a bunch of this stuff out of the way, then we have to focus on comics and extensive bios. Like we want to go and figure out who they were as a kid, what they played with, what they ate, and then 3 or 4 pages later, and then condense that down into a bite-sized piece. So
okay, so in a month, Gazz, you run Toy Connections for about a year after that. Does that sound good?
I'll tell you what, I'll do it if Hans joins me.
Okay,
nice.
Only if Hans joins me. Me and Hans will do it.
He says he's greeting Nolan, but I'm gonna just misinterpret that as him saying yes. That's him saying yes in my mind. Yeah. Ryan Sweeney can join you too. So.
Oh yeah, we'll make it a trio.
Yeah, he'll just go on hiatus on the island of Misfit collectors.
We'll do both channels. Screw it.
4 a.m.
There we go. Ooh. Oh, Canuck needs to get going. Yeah, thank you for the well wishes, Canuck, and thank you for joining the channel members. I'll make sure your name gets in the credits of in the description of every future video going forward.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
Yeah,
appreciate.
And Robert Monty, yep. Have a good one as well, and thank you for the generous super chat earlier on in the stream. Yeah, now at this point it's just open mic session. By the way, I've done what I've come to do. So. Yeah, Gazz is getting the inside look. He's getting to interview Steve directly, which is awesome.
This is awesome, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me ask. What are some inspirations for your designs? You designed them, right? Designed all the figures.
Yeah.
What kind of inspirations were you looking at? Like, what do you think? What were you thinking about? What were you watching?
Well, I'm a Battlefield guy, so I get some inspiration from that. Like, I'm pretty weird, people don't understand me, right? They're like, oh, you're into video games. And they're like, do you like this, 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 and this? And I'm like, nope. I only play one video game over and over.
Only Battlefield? You ever play Ghost Recon?
No. I mean, I have for about 10 minutes.
Oh, really? Don't like it?
Yeah, no, people are like Call of Duty, Destiny, all of this stuff. I'm really weird, man. They're like
Call of Duty. Call of Duty was my jam for a little while, especially Black Ops. So
Battlefield was a great game, though. I will admit that. It was really cool.
I never got much into that, so yeah. Anyway, well, we got 2 new members on this stream. Robert Monty has joined the YouTube channel membership as well, so appreciate welcome, Robert. You've joined the Gazzes of the world and the Nolans and the Canucks of the world and the Ryan Sweeneys as channel members, as well as Scuba Pete and Delta 17 Steve himself as patrons. So,
nice. Yeah. So what other influences other than Battlefield?
Modern military stuff. I'm fascinated with it. I don't know. To me, the ultimate movie is 13 Hours, or I like Fury and different things like that. I loved G.I. Joe as a kid. It was, I was into toys. I played all the time, hours and hours and hours every day. Then I got my first G.I. Joe, and I asked my friends, what is this? This is my favorite toy in the world. And they're like, well, that's G.I. Joe. What do you mean? What is it? And I'm just like, well, I've never seen one before. My parents were kind of freaked out that I was a bit of a psycho and that I was violent. So they kept all the military stuff away from me.
Right. And
so I got a part-time job, and that in between that and a lot of shoplifting, I got a lot of a pretty big collection going.
You still have your original Joes?
Oh yeah, man. I think I sold one to buy a Mickey of whiskey at one point. And I'll always regret that. So no, I still got them. I still love them with all my heart, but when it comes to Joe's, I only love the military stuff. So I have to be careful because I might end up making a toy line that'll be like 5 years later and they're all camouflage green,
Right.
So I have
So you're gonna dabble with some sci-fi in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be relatively realistic, though. We don't want to get too weird. I'm not sure about stuff like AI and different things like that. I mean, there's some stuff that I'm not comfortable with. I'm a strange guy. I don't mean to be. People are like, are you into vehicles? And I just go, no, except for the Jeep. I only like the Jeep. Do you like video games? No, except for Battlefield. You like toys? Yes, G.I. Joe. I'm just such a bit of a, I don't know if I'm an a-hole or what, but
you like what you like, really. I mean, who's to tell you who you shouldn't like? I basically just collect GI Joes myself. Anything else that I have is I just dabble in stuff, but I don't have like major collection.
Yeah, same. I have some Thundercats. I've got a lot of Marvel. I like the X-Men comics and stuff.
That's good stuff.
And you have some legends like going all the way back to the Toy Biz era.
Legends? Oh yeah.
Marvel Legends.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'd be shameful if I didn't mention this, but Hans Chow is an awesome artist. I'm just saying that he can draw some pretty great looking female characters and male characters. He's really good. Nice. Just put it out there. Just throwing it out there. It's my buddy.
Okay. I'll write it down.
He goes live every now and then on Instagram and draws, and we'll do some drawing.
Actually, I think he just posted a picture of Cammy today from Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, the one with the braid.
Yeah, on his Instagram, it was pretty hot there, Hansi. Pretty hot.
Okay.
Street Fighter. It wasn't. No, I think it was Super Street Fighter, right? That she debuted, not Turbo. I don't think she debuted in
Super
Turbo.
Street Fighter 2, maybe.
Super Street Fighter 2. I remember her from that.
Just a big jumble in my head. I don't know.
Yeah, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is when I remember using her a lot as well.
I used to always use what was his name, the Bruce Lee guy.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Wow.
I was gonna say Liu Kang. But that's the wrong game.
Forrest Law, I think his name was Forrest Law. It might be getting that mixed up with Tekken. They both had one.
Yeah. Hans will correct us here in a bit. What do I do with these boxes?
There it is. Failing. Thank you, Hans Chow. Oh no, Robert got it first.
Oh, Fei Long. Yeah.
Fei Long.
Got it.
Oh.
Yeah. There we
go. Airsoft stuff. Yeah, I wish I had airsoft stuff. For now, I'm just collecting real. I just got this in the mail today.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
I got some Megaforce diecasts today. Bang.
Nice.
Yeah, the movie I still haven't seen in full. The movie, Gazz's favorite movie that I've seen all of 10 minutes of.
I can't believe you, Ken. All this time and you're letting me down.
I let him down on a lot of movies. He'll mention any like big cult classic, and I guarantee I haven't
even seen The Last Starfighter.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yes.
And when he mentioned Rocketeer, I was like, I've seen one. He's like, the problem is, Ken, that was the 90s. So like your parents probably dragged you. I'm like, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy The Rocketeer? I don't remember it, says Ken.
Yeah.
I remember enjoying it and remember coming home and thinking that the G.I. Joe Cobra Worms character with the helmet was exactly the Rocketeer.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because I had the maggot. I had the maggot in '88 or '89. I know it's an '87. It's an '87 playset or vehicle, but I somehow got it later.
Do you understand the? Yep, there he is. There he is. Look at there he is. Do you understand the ramifications of what I just said to you? I have die-cast Megaforce vehicles.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, Firefox was cool.
Firefox is great. Love that movie.
Blue Thunder, all that old stuff was so
Blue Thunder.
cool.
They had a TV show. Did you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I remember
you blew up the helicopter. Spoilers for anybody in the chat and you, Ken, who haven't seen it yet. But he lands it up. Yeah, it blew it up at the end. Don't you remember? He lands it on the railroad tracks and boom.
Oh no!
I guess they could build that other one.
Watched it 6 months ago. I don't remember that part.
That was right at the end. Yeah.
So Firefox, we're talking about that the web browser by Mozilla from a number of years ago, before Google Chrome.
Okay, gang, get off the stream. Leave.
Yeah.
Hans, can you come in? Hey, Scuba Pete, how about you? You want to come in too?
Did he kick himself off?
He just took himself out. No, he just took himself out of there.
Yeah, Firefox was pretty cool. That was wasn't it based off of the SR-71 Blackbird kind of, or
I think it was more. I think the plane might have been kind of based off of that, but I think it was more about the Foxbat MiG that was that was supposed to be the Foxbat, because it was like this ultimate fighter, sonic fighter that the Russians had like in their, I think, the late 70s or early 70s, maybe even earlier than that. And it was like, they were trying to steal that, but then they made it into this fantasy plane that kind of looks like the Night Raven version 2, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Ken, I was kidding. You can come back.
Okay. Just making sure.
God, I'm really making this face right now. You should stop that.
The Kelvin face.
But yeah, it's like that was a great movie. Well, some people don't like it, but
what were you saying about Megaforce diecast toys? What the heck?
Yeah, Hot Wheel. Look up Hot Wheels Megaforce 82, and you'll see them. There's a destroyer. There's a 6-wheel ATACMS vehicle. They have a Delta Mark IV cycle tank and a Ford Bronco, white and red. I think there's only 5 vehicles they had. No, and there was a black destroyer, which is a dune buggy, and I got the 2 in a set from a buyer, from a seller on eBay.
Wow.
Of the TACCOM and the desert camo or the natural camo for the Megaforce.
Nice.
Yeah, he's pretty psyched about that.
I still haven't seen that movie. I've seen the trailer a couple of times. It looks so killer.
Man, not another one.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. No, it's a good movie, but a movie of taste.
Yeah. I might have seen it as a kid. I'm not sure. I saw a lot of movies when I was a teenager.
Oh yeah, me as well. A lot of movies. Me and my friends, we used to go to the movies like every Friday, Saturday night, like from like 93, 4 to like 2000.
Yep. Yeah, same. Just anything, it's like Jacob's Ladder, sure,
Yeah, let's do it.
Whatever it was, unlawful conduct. Yeah, sure, we didn't even know what was in it. Just watch it. Be like,
I got dragged to see The Lion King, and I legit fell asleep.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, that was
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Disney
12.
Animation. I wasn't into.
I was 12 at the time, so I loved it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go. I think there was like some action movie that I wanted to see, and they didn't want to go, and I got, because it's like it was a group thing. We all decided, we're gonna go see that. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, my poor cousin, when I was like 12 and he was, I think, probably 19, he's like, hey man, let's go out, I'll take you out to a movie. We were in the big city for once, and I was just like, whoa, cool. And he's like, what do you want to see? And they had 2 movies playing. One was The Empire Strikes Back, and the other one was The Golden Seal, about the seal who gets injured and a young boy helps fix up the seal and let him go. And I was, I must have been 8 or something. I was like, let's go see The Golden Seal. And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, you get to pick. So we saw this dumb movie. Even me, as an 8-year-old, I was like, that was kind of dumb. He's like, well, yeah, the freaking, you could hear just on the other side of the wall, everything was blowing up. And I was like, wow.
What was it?
That sounds cool, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, Red Dawn.
So I've not seen Heartbreak Ridge. I have seen Predator. I have seen Rambo. I have not seen Delta Force, and I've seen Top Gun, but I don't remember it. I remember Top Gun. I remember more for the soundtrack more than I do the movie itself. But if people make reference to like Maverick and Wingmen and all that, yes, I remember that. So
Delta Force is more a serious version of Megaforce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not that Megaforce isn't serious, but Megaforce is kind of like a little sci-fi, a little bit of sci-fi, but not like too sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen all of those that are listed there that Dreadnought put up. Those are all good.
Cool.
Red
anyway, yeah. I lacked sleep because I was up watching Game of Thrones last night. The previous 2 episodes, it was like 1 a.m. before I got to bed. So if I look a little tired, whatever.
Well, here, let me just clear some up. It's not that I didn't like The Lion King, because I did see it later on and I did enjoy it. I just fell asleep during it because I didn't want to see it.
Well, it depends on how old you are when you watch it, right? If you're a teenager that's supposed to be cool and heavy metal, it's going to be like, oh man, this is shit, right?
Right.
But,
right.
Yeah, I couldn't get into any of that Disney stuff when they were doing all the singing. That was just gross.
I don't mind the singing. I don't mind that. I just got to be in the mood for it. I can't just sit down and be like, I'm going to watch Beauty and the Beast right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to be in the mood for it.
Oh, yeah.
Sing along. I'll have fun. Hell yeah, Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen. Yeah, throw that back up.
That was good.
That's a good
movie.
Good. That was a good. Have you seen that one, Ken?
Sorry, which one?
Navy SEALs.
No, I've not.
No, well, Michael Biehn.
Yeah.
I think
as in
what's his name?
Wasn't Michael Biehn Reese from Terminator?
Yeah, Michael Biehn.
He was also in Aliens as well.
Hakuna Matata, Hans.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
That pairing. What was it? Pumbaa?
Timon and Pumbaa.
My favorite. I had an actual stuffed animal of Timon. I liked him so much; it was cool.
Nice.
Hey,
you were a grown man at the time.
Hey, I ain't afraid to admit it. You like what you like. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it says Calvin and Hobbes over on our screen here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that was me as a kid.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the artist? He just disappeared.
Oh no,
eh?
he just stopped. Didn't want to do anymore. He's done with. I think he stopped in the early '90s and started up again for a couple of years and then stopped. And then that was it.
The weird thing is that he's nowhere to be seen. Like, he's not on social media. No one has photos of him recently. Nothing. He doesn't.
There's actually a movie here on the YouTube called Dear Mr. Waterston. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It talks about a guy's journey to go meet him. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they actually have, I think it's a museum in Ireland dedicated to all his watercolor and paintings of Calvin and Hobbes. Pretty cool.
Wow. So does the guy ever get to meet Bill Waterson?
I don't recall. I haven't seen it. I long time. I think that he got to the house, but he would meet him, but not on camera or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. He's pretty animate about just keeping the comic the way it is. Didn't want to sell the rights off to make cartoons or toys and all that stuff. He just didn't think it was right.
Man, I'd love some toys.
Oh my God, would I? What would I do? There's some nice fan-made stuff out there, but it's way, way too costly.
Oh yeah, right, because it's a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a really cool hand-knit Hobbes that you can get, but you're going to be paying upwards to $80 for it.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah. But it's hand-knit Hobbes of how he actually is, not how Calvin sees him, right?
Yeah. Well,
which one do you have?
It's like the when he's carrying him around in the comics, it looks just like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And not like where he's walking next to him. I have one that looks like that one as well. But I mean, he didn't want to see Hobbes everywhere as a stuffed animal. No offense, Ken, but he didn't want it to be he didn't want it to end up like Snoopy. Not that Snoopy's bad, because Snoopy's great and Peanuts are awesome. Those cartoons are great, comics are great. It's all great, but he didn't want it to go that route for some reason.
So my Snoopy in my head, when I see him exactly like how Charles Schultz drew him. And everyone else, everyone else just sees me walking around with him like Hobbes under my arm, and I'm like, I don't know he's walking beside me. That's what it is, right? Same thing with Ralph. Exactly. Same thing with Ralph. I swear, we get on camera and you see my hand there, but in my bedroom, he's actually sitting on the desk as a full-size dog talking, and my lips aren't moving at the same time. It's just the way it works out there.
After this ends, I got my cardboard box ready, my time machine ready to go see some dinosaurs later. I'm good. I'm good.
What's the name of the girl he always torments? Is it Susie?
Susie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just posted a comment the other day on my Facebook page of Calvin telling a story about how Susie's being chased by a pack of raptors.
Yep, I saw that one. I saw that one.
Oh, it's hilarious. Then as it's ended, he's just standing there. He's got his thumb up. He's got his thumb on his nose, like sticking his tongue out at Susie. He's like, "Take that, Susie."
And the teacher's all pissed off behind him.
Oh yeah, it's freaking great.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
But we're not here to talk about Calvin and Hobbes. We're here to talk about Delta 17 and Ken. Let's go.
Yeah,
Or turtles. Or turtles.
Let's hear more stuff about the inspiration behind the what got you to do it is what got you to like to just do it, create a toy line and a story.
Well, I don't know how much I can reveal. I was about to purchase another line.
Oh.
And it was another O-ring line that sort of prints off different color variations, and then that fell through.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was preparing to purchase the line, I was getting into teams and themes and different color schemes and stuff. Like, where are they? There's some there. Here, I'll show you something. Okay. Sorry, one moment, please. Okay.
Oh, good.
So I was gonna, buy this other line and then do interesting things like, what was it? There was that Firefly guy that was a prototype. They turned him into wreckage later, and I was thinking, well, heck, it'd be cool to have a whole team of wreckage dudes. So, I painted up these guys,
Nice.
and I thought, we'd run them like that. And then I was thinking, well, we should expand the Tiger Force line, but we'll do it similar to the UK Blizzard. So I did up these guys. I was going to run them as, sort of like
pretty cool.
UK Blizzard. Yeah, stuff like that. And then as I was going, it was a few months of humming and hawing with this guy about whether or not it would happen. And I started creating my own characters. And then when he backed out for, whatever reason, his own reasons, then I was just like, well, shit, why don't I try to run a couple of my own characters? And I just started developing. I wasn't sure at the time if that was actually going to happen.
Right.
But, it was just something I was doing in my spare time. And after a while, I had a, handful of guys drawn out. And I don't know. I've probably gone through about 30 characters, and we've deleted or thrown away most of them and just stuck with the 12 most powerful, and those 12 have been refined over and over until now.
Yeah. Anytime I tell Steve it looks fine, I would buy that. He goes through another 4 iterations of the same character. And by the time we get to the 4th iteration, I'm like, I can't tell what you changed. Well, I slimmed down the wrists by an extra millimeter, shaved that down a little bit, and trying to tweak the positioning of the pockets on, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, you are 5 hours past the optimal point. And he's like, it's not optimal till I say it's optimal. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for our 3D designer. He gets frustrated from time to time. But a lot of the paint jobs and stuff like that, they've got to be dialed just right. You really want to present, you want to get off on your best foot, right?
Right.
And so yeah, if we still have time before they're made in the factory, then we'll still be tweaking until we can get the absolute best version possible. Yeah, so I don't know. We have this opportunity, and we're just going to take it. It hasn't been easy. We've been developing for what is it? 2 years, 2.5?
2.5
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it'll probably be 3 by January, right?
How did you guys like meet up?
I brought in, well, I've known Ken for a couple of years. He sells at our local toy fair and stuff like that. Then I picked up this other dude to be a different position, and he's like, bring on Ken. And I was like, oh, for sales, or I don't know, sure, And so we brought him on, and I was like, well, I don't, I wasn't sure about Ken at first, and then he's like, oh, I also write. And I'm like, well, yeah, everyone says they can write. Then he hands me some stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow, that's really good. So I give him just some basic idea, and he wrote up some more stuff, and I was like, holy shit, like that would make a really good book or a cartoon or something. So it's just like, okay, wow, okay. It was good to have him on the team. You know, he really proved himself.
So Ken, you've been writing comics, like your own stuff, or
I'll draft up a script that we may or may not use. But
well,
what'll happen is one
outside of Delta 17 before you guys hooked up, were you doing stuff like that? Like writing stuff on your own?
Not scripting. I tried a number of years ago to do like Power Rangers fan fiction.
Okay.
And that's where I kind of got the idea of like how to do like writing and flow, and I would put it up, and the people who did read it liked it. I never got a lot of traction with that. Then in YouTubing, I just, my videos, Gazz, I'm always complaining about how hard it is to do a script sometimes.
Right.
But then I just take that flow, apply it to a comic, and Steve ended up liking it. So it's kind of how it all shook out.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he had some hidden talents that I didn't know about that are very powerful and integral, and just in the day-to-day, I work with them a lot every day, just fine tuning and just bouncing things off of, trying to figure out where the current market is. And we're hoping to, not just sell to collectors, but to somehow grow past that. Like it seems like in toy stores now, you have the modern figure, and that's all that you have. You just have like one family of figure, really, and he comes in different sizes or whatever. But like this guy here, excuse me, he's really great. But I don't know. I think the world just wants something a little bit different, right? The one thing I don't like about modern figures is there's no shine, right, to the plastic. Whereas if you take an older Joe, whichever one it is, it's got that natural shine to the plastic, and it almost looks a little bit more valuable in some ways. It almost has like a jewel characteristic to it. I don't know how to explain it really, but it just seems like the world might welcome this family of toy back, just based on the fact that it's totally different. Like we love all the articulation that these guys have. It's insane. You can get them to move in every which way, and they all come with like 50 million accessories and 20 heads and all that stuff. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like I get fatigued from some of that. I love these characters, but I also feel a little bit fatigued sometimes when it's, I don't know, like if I just find one of these guys that I don't have, maybe it's just me, but it excites me. I'd rather have one of these guys that I don't have than 20 sort of modern era figures that are, I don't know, but that just could be me. I think that the market needs a different family of toys coming out, something, and it just might be that bringing a gem back from the past, old tech into the new market might really be something that people they don't know they're looking for it, but they'll appreciate it when it comes.
Yeah, you're right. I think so. And you're not the only one. I think there's a lot of us that feel that way when we see a vintage Joe on a glass case, or in a baggie on a peg. Yeah, we all kind of stop and go, "Hey, who was that? That one guy I might like."
Well, in all likelihood, I mean, by the time this line gets more and more developed and closer to production, we may do some more live streams that are Delta 17 dedicated. And as we're looking for feedback and talking through prototypes and all that, we might do like a channel members and patrons only live stream, just backstage to kind of show the development process. Something me and Steve are kind of working out. It may not be conducive to that depending on what's on his desk at the time. So giving myself that loophole in case we don't do it. But as we develop stuff and as we're ready to roll it out, we'll put it up. We'll put it on social media somehow, or it might just be an Instagram post. Right? We haven't posted anything in a while, but it's not due to lack of development. We just don't want everyone to get their hopes up and all of a sudden, it's not going to be for a while, and then we want it to hit the ground running once we hit the ground.
I for one can tell you that I'm pretty pumped, just like I was when Carson's talking about his project. I can hear the passion in both of you guys, and it's pumping me up for it. So I'm pretty excited about this. Sounds like a great line.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for doing it.
Finally, you guys finally got to connect, and Steve got to finally be on the channel on a public stream. So,
maybe you can come on more often.
Yeah, we can. We'll see. Depends on his mood. Depends on his mood.
I got to get a haircut and make this beard shorter. I look like a dude.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's a nice beard. Zazel would say it's a great beard.
Yeah, right.
Zazel likes his beard, so yeah. Anyway, Jets. So we've been streaming for about an hour and 45 minutes here, and I just figured it's getting kind of close to dinner time, but not super close to dinner. So I'm thinking right there we've got what we came to see, and I think it'd be a good time to say goodbye to the chat, unless any of you have any farewell words. No, you're good.
Thanks for inviting me on, Ken, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you, guys.
Nice meeting you. And the turtles. Jets. Look at the turtles. They look great.
They look great. All right, folks, stay tuned. Sometime this weekend, I'm going to release a gridiron customized Televiper. It'll either be Friday or Saturday, depending when I get around to it. So
one question there by Jim Largo. Ken, will you be writing some file cards for Delta 17?
As it stands, unless something's changed, I'll be writing all the file cards.
Ooh.
There's Steve nodding. So there you go. I will be the file card guy for Delta 17. So yes, thank you for putting out the question there, Gazz.
Hey, no problem. I just looked over and I saw it.
Yeah, everyone's really happy and glad to see everyone's glad with the reveals, unboxing, and good toy chat today. All right. If you hear the tiredness in my voice, it's because I am a little bit tired, but nothing kills my passion for toys. So you'll see this all the time. All right. See you all on the weekend. See you all on the weekend. I will do a release on the gridiron figure that Ryan sent over. And then on Sunday, I'll be on with Paul from Joburg, Dom from Toy Domination, and Chris Mewa from Chasing 80s Toys to talk Masters of the Universe on the next TKO. All right.
Sweet.
Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.